Welcome, welcome. It's Sex on X, and in the news this week, Sky's News. Welcome to another week of the ethical adult entertainer's perspective on the trending sex news of the week. I want there to be more embodied enlightenment in the world, and I believe in ethical adult entertainment and porn without problems, porn with less problems. And it's been a busy week in sex. Seemed to go off pretty hard earlier and over the weekend, and it's sort of, there's other things that have come along later in the week since, but there's a few ongoing themes. We've got Andrew Tate and Bonnie Blue. We've got the gender wars, well, the sex wars, and how feminism or manism is neither good, and how they've caused each other to arise. Promiscuity, body holding postures, body count, sneaky fuckers, moralizing from the immoral, people openly blaming women, women are being more publicly whoring, the problem of porn fetishes and kinks in the real world. Yeah, there's been a lot going on this week, and I guess I should just get into it because it's a pretty fucking large amount of stuff to cover. I bookmarked a lot of things. I also made, where shall I put it? This needs to come forward. How do I do that? Oh, fuck you. Come on. Fuck. How do I bring to forward? Order. Move to top. Yay. Okay, here we go. I did the official. I made it. I made my four corners explanation of the positions for and anti adult entertainment, anti-exploitation, sex work is work, and ban porn. Bottom is authoritarian, top is libertarian. I flipped it. And I've also expanded on what they are. Adult entertainment is decriminalization, own our own content, no pimps or managers, keep sex to adult-only spaces, entertainers are worthy of respect, free to choose to do the work. The anti-exploitation position is social shame and ridicule. No porn corporations, no culture of sex. Pimps are bad and exploitative. Workers are victims with no agency. The demand causes the supply. Sex work is for legalization. OnlyFans managers are okay. Do porn by producers who are men who've not done porn. Having a hypersexual culture. Everyone should do the work. It's a job anyone can do. Pimps are a necessity. And the ban porn authoritarian side is it's illegal to buy, sell, or make porn. Ban all online adult spaces. Pimps and sex workers are both equally bad and problematic. They want a sex negative culture with a Sharia law type attitude towards women. The supply causes the demand, and only damaged people do the work. So I'm really pleased with that. So that's a nice way to look at what is going on when you see stuff. Is it moving in the right direction? Is it moving upwards into the libertarian left, I guess? Libertarian right would be not encouraging it, as opposed to banning it. Yeah, so we can refer to that about other people's positions on things. So you go back there. I got a little logo-y thing on the go there too. So I need to change the size of me, and we can get on to X. There it is. All bookmarks. Oh no. Okay. There. So much going on my little screen. I like it though. And if we do this up here, so there we go. We got everything. Everything's in screen really. That's a bit small, I guess. We can make this bigger. And that can go in just about in there. Lovely! Look at that! It looks crazy. I'm into it. So I've had some good conversations this past week as well with people who've been watching either my shorts or my full-length videos. So I appreciate the interest in understanding a different perspective. And here is my folder. So here's my thingy. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of the week. It's a long one. Look at all of this. So much to go through. Oh my god. Holy shit. It's that fucking whore again. So, that's where we finished last time. Andrew Tate and Bonnie Blue are the opposite sides of the same coin. They are what happens when you take feminism or patriarchy to the extremes. That's what this initial tweet here is saying, that the manosphere, that's what it is disappointing as feminism is. They're like two sides of the same coin. Oh my god, did I read that and then say it? Both could have potentially been a good thing at the start, but got ruined by narcissists and ideological weirdos. And he's going viral. Andrew Tate's going viral at the moment because there's lots of conservative men that are like, hang on, I actually don't think this is a good guy. Why did we like this guy? And it's like, yeah, why did anyone not? Like, he is a pimp. He's never been anything other than a pimp. He's never denied that he's a pimp. But conservatives are still like, oh, he's based. He talks about the Matrix. He's a pimp from like 10 years ago. The Matrix is a very, very old concept, and like it's not like cool or new to say. Like, I think people got into him on the right when like he was persecuted for sex crimes, but the thing is, like, he's a sex criminal. Like, he's literally a self-defined pimp, which is a sex criminal. Up in the old adult entertainment quarter, we don't need no pimps. We don't need no managers. They're men who exploit women. And pimps like him are like, if it's a pimp that's the one that I went to dinner with, I talked about last week, that's just straightforward. At least he was just fucking telling me, this guy pretends to fall in love with the women and then like abuse them and make them do porn. And like, all the conservative men were like, he's being persecuted by the system. He's a good guy. No, he's a fucking Muslim gang rapist. Who says stuff that like people have known for like 20 years. So yeah. It's funny that it's just how do people not see that being a pimp is the problem? Not like whether he raped anyone or not. Like, it's not the stuff that he's been accused of that makes him bad. It's the stuff that he sells in his courses and admits to frequently. Like, would they be friends with another pimp? I don't know, like, they must be, I guess. Like, it's kind of weird one, but it's fun to see, like, more people waking up to it. But, like, it's not fun to see them waking up to it, because how the fuck did they ignore it in the first place? Because, like I've said every week so far, no one gives a shit about the promiscuous woman or women who are taken advantage of from 14 to fucking 50. It's so weird which women are chosen to be believed and which ones aren't. And, yeah, it's pretty insane. So here we are going to go back to this stupid modern Britain is poisoned professional jizz bucket Bonnie Blue, live on TikTok, casually discussing how she was ran through by hundreds of men in a 12-hour stretch. She looks an absolute mess. I mean, she doesn't look like an absolute mess. She looks totally normal. But the thing is, what she was doing in that one. She went to Australia to try and, like, fuck all the schoolies, or, like, she got turned away from Australia. It's like, how is this person doing so much in such a short time? And it's like all getting out there, all getting pushed into the right-wing spaces. There's 3 stories of her in the last week. Her going, like, her either trying to go to schoolies, or getting kicked out of Australia at schoolies. Which is funny because I intentionally went to the Gold Coast for schoolies because I wanted to hook up with a load of fucking 20-year-olds when I was older. Unless the world's changed an incredible amount in the last, like, 12 years. You can't, like, get people to do a gangbang by asking them on the street. But I guess I never really tried. But goddamn, I tried in Australia. I doubled my body count in 1 year, recreationally. But it wasn't like everyone was lining up to do porn with me. But then there wasn't OnlyFans at the time. I guess that is what's changed things, OnlyFans, and what people are like. If you watch girls on there, and then they're fucking guys, and you're like, oh, I could do that, and then you get the opportunity, you would. But the thing that lots of adult workers are noticing is that she is not following any industry standards. She's had controversy about using an Airbnb. That was Lily Phillips. The Airbnb thing. But the fact that they're, like, 2 people that look exactly the same and are doing the same thing and are having, like, the same stories be pushed about them is, like, super weird. So she, like, if you want to post a video of you with another person on a porn site, you have to have a signed form from that person and a copy of their ID. And usually now they have to hold their ID next to the face whilst you submit it on an app, like, live. So I don't see how hundreds of people are doing this when I've only found, like, literally a handful. And once their ID expires, I can't sell the stuff anymore. And that's, like, out of, like, that's like 1% of the people that I've recreationally had sex with have agreed to sign the forms and have them because, like, it's not just signing the forms, it's that you're now having them submitted to a porn site. And so that your, like, social security and address and stuff have to be tied to your, like, ID and in a database on a porn site. And Are they doing that? Like, so the other story later in the week is she fucked 1,000 guys. Here we go. She says she's broken the world record by sleeping with 1,000 men in 12 hours. OnlyFans is destroying this generation because one woman is a generation and is representative of all women. One woman. The creators bragged about sleeping with barely legal teenagers and husbands who cheat on their wives. The pervert who was recently seen preying on that was like the Five Guys one from last week. So this is a retarded take. The soul ties she has are unimaginable. Oh, do you believe in soul ties? Are you a fucking pussy? What the fuck are you talking about? That is disgusting, made up woo. Go away. And I like this guy, Feral Porg. OnlyFans is destroying this generation, buddy. Most people aren't having gangbangs. I gotta agree. Unfortunately, most people are not having gangbangs. I have not been able to have as many gangbangs as I would like in my life. But then again, I guess I've also had, like, standards. Even, like, the idea of, like, I've only once, like, I get paid to fuck people I don't fancy. Not anymore. I have been paid to fuck people I don't fancy in legal settings. So I just don't think, like, I haven't had the I don't get off on it being, like, a gross person, someone that I don't fancy. And, like, I don't know how, but I've fucked, like, so many tens. I was a modelizer, fucked a lot of male models. Like, I married someone with an 8-pack who didn't have to work out all the time to look like that. I've fucked, like, every, like, random small town boy I've fucked has got, like, an 8-pack and is a fucking 8 or a 10. Like, so when I've had gangbangs, it's because, like, a couple of them are really hot. Like, so hot, I would fuck their ugly friends. So I guess, like, I see and hear about, like, swingers and all, like, you know, polyamorous people and all people who do wild sex with other people. Like, you watch sort of cuck stuff online and amateur stuff, and the thing is, everyone's really fucking ugly. There's not many tens that do it. And so, like, if there isn't a, like, motivating factor, why would I do it when it's what it... I would do it for money, I wouldn't do it for free. Because that's the payoff of being ugly. Because I don't want to fuck anyone that's not really hot because I don't have to. So for me, I've not delved into the extremes of what my sexuality could be, because it was enough already for me. I got enough. I was a sort of, like, I'm like a binger when it came to that. I'd have, like, big weekends, and then I'd have a couple of weeks more with, like, no sex, and then, so, like, yeah, probably when I was ovulating, I'd like to have lots of sex, following my natural cycle, because I lead. Me and what I want in the world leads. Anyway, I'm in a weird mood today. I haven't, I mean, I've been myself for a while because I've had this, like, the bus stuff to deal with from last week, and then I've come back to an area that I really like to be in, and I just haven't, like, let go of like domestication for a while. I need to like experience reality. The spot that I'm in is like I'm on this like massive open area. I can see for like miles, hundreds of miles, tens of miles in all directions, and it's going to get really cold. So I don't know if I'm going to stay here, but it's nice being like fucking. I'm about 40 miles from the next small town. Okay, let's go back to this. Yeah, I love Milo. Huge Laura Loomer energy. So let's listen to what she said. I haven't listened to this.
The big 1000 was completely done. So it started off, I didn't know if you gangbangs after gangbangs to start with. It was just like the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle like that. The big 1000 was
the best take on this is, after listening to that, the take that I have is, where's he gone? Tim Urban. Where is it? Here we go. Unpopular opinion. Is this different than the people who run insane Ironmans, or win hot dog eating contests, or hold their breath for 17 minutes, or swim naked in the Arctic, or any other extreme test of physical endurance? If it's all on her terms, why should we be outraged? Listening to her, that's what it sounds like.
fluids for moisturiser was good for your skin. The big 1000 was completely done. So this is what my face looks like after taking 1000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturiser was good for your skin. The big 1000 lives, I wanted to give people.
Yeah, that was that. So, I mean, she's like, how do we even know she's doing it? Where is the videos? I need to do more research as opposed to just, well, that's the thing. Like, I kind of just like, it's the people, it's like the masses' reaction to the thing, as opposed to the thing that I'm interested in. Like, I am interested in the thing, but it's more like the things that people draw from, like the assumptions, the opinions people draw from these things are the problem. Like, things like this aren't, that's completely in her lane. The Five Guys thing, not good. The schoolies thing, questionable. Admitting you're going to like fly into a country to intentionally fuck barely legal men. There's another point that explains why she's doing this. But this has no bearing on society. This is like, oh my God, he shouldn't hold his breath for 17 minutes because people are going to start holding their breath for 17 minutes. No, they're not, because they can't. Like, the normal person can't fuck 1,000 men. A normal woman doesn't want a gangbang. Normal men don't end up in gangbang scenarios. It's not like the downfall of society when one person does an extreme sport. Like, if David Goggins, like, running on his, like, busted up knees for 250 miles doesn't mean no one else should run. Oh, anyone who does prostitution, cam work, OnlyFans are tormented, sad, or traumatized. Some are narcissistic, sociopathic groomers. Oh, people who run really long distances on broken up knees are tormented, sad, or traumatized, or maybe they're just narcissistic sociopaths. Yeah? No? Like, those are just Maybe that person walking down the street has a pink t-shirt at home, and maybe they have brown boots, and maybe one day they might wear the pink t-shirt and brown boots, and I will know that they're a person that has a brown t-shirt and pink boots. Now I've gone the other way around. But it's just pointless projection, assumption. It is nonsensical. So where is she? I think it's gone the other direction. Oh, that's a good bit. Oh, there. Here we go. Bislett. I think her whole thing is debasing men. It's like she's showing how pathetic most guys are, in that are so desperate for sex with an attractive woman, they'll fuck a girl that another man in front of them just finished with. Here we go. This person clearly doesn't know that a lot of men of men are into cuckolding, being cuckolded. And even more men are into watching other men have sex with women. In porn, it's almost like the male sexuality is geared towards enjoying watching other people have sex. But what I do think is true there is that her whole thing is debasing men. It's I've sort of lost because I was linking that to the Tim Urban thing about it being an endurance thing, being on her terms. Yeah. Debasing men, it's like the kink is debasing men. It's a woman taking on a masculine sexuality, but because she's a woman, she can do it better. You know, my feminism was like being a fuckboy. I'm gonna be a fuckboy. So it's how women so the male and female is everything, and everything is male and female, and each of us is equally male and female, because everything is yin yang, everything is light and dark, and the two together life can only exist with the two together. So we have to be balanced in ourselves. Kitty has distracted me. Something else has distracted me. I forgot what I was saying. It was going well, and then I forgot what I was saying. Am I confusing myself by jumping around too much? What makes a woman want to do something like this? Promiscuity is a preference. Some of us just like it. We're not fucked up, deranged, sociopaths, traumatized, abused. I was abused as I was older, I wasn't abused as a child. After I started having sex and enjoying sex is why people thought that they could fuck me when I'm passed out. Because, she said no, but she likes it. But yeah, but that's the thing that no one on the ban porn or anti-exploitation side seems to understand, is that there are some of us in the world, male and female, who genuinely enjoy promiscuity. It feels good. You don't feel worthless from doing it because you treat the other person with respect, because you both want to do the mutual activity that you are both interested in, and usually have it as a special interest and want to make an effort to be good at, because it's your hobby that you like doing with strangers. It's like doing a sport with someone for people like us. It's like playing tennis. And I know the body disgusts you, whether you're a radical feminist, Christian, even just conservative, more authoritarian, anyone who just thinks all this is wrong. You just are disgusted by your own body. You're disgusted by the human body. I am not. Having to the fluids isn't the same as making someone a coffee. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I like it. I like the human body. It isn't like sex and bodies being together is, I find a conversation more intimate. To me, it's just reality. It's just the pure truth. It is ultimate presence. Someone being fully present with you in the moment, focused on the same thing, which is each other and the mutual creation in that moment. Getting to know a new person's body is like going on vacation, going somewhere new, watching a movie that you love, hearing a new piece of music that you love. Like, it's a landscape, it's infinity, it is that person's life, which expands exponentially out from their body, that you can feel without words. It is like there's nothing gross about it. For me, because of how I've done things, like I don't just fuck anyone, I have to be attracted to them. Wow, shocker. But the ways that I've been like ethically promiscuous have meant that the sex that I have has been not gross. It has been expanding. It has been... I've got hundreds, thousands of stories of amazing experiences with people. Because of my intention of my promiscuity being for the right reasons. Because I just love the naked body, I love men, I love the penis, because it's us. It's what we've been made for. To be thoroughly enamored and engulfed by our physical reality. I have very little interest in getting to know the wordy bullshit made up stuff and the lies that people tell to themselves and others in relationships. I like your body. I've always made that clear as well, that like it's about good sex. It's about, it's like if you're gonna play around a golf with someone, you don't not try, you know? Anyway, why was I talking about that? Who knows? Who am I today? I've had like some adjustment again in my face and neck, and like everything feels like so simple and understandable inside of myself, and like so far from being able to verbalize it. Ah, hi Ben. This was great. Ben did a really good breakdown of why Andrew Tate is a real problem. I said to him, thanks for the comprehensive explanation. You all need to know what pimps are. And we all need to eradicate them. Yes, eradicate. Let's go to the masculinity stuff again. I don't buy the argument that Andrew Tate exists because conservatives aren't offering a compelling vision of masculinity. Tate exists because many young men on the right are possessed by the same self-pity demon that's gobbled up young women on the right. You're entitled to whatever you want. You're a victim if the world doesn't validate you. Your failures are someone else's fault. You're right to be angry at those who get in the way of your happiness. It's all the same. You could have 100 hyper-masculine guys with YouTube channels espousing true conservatism and godly patriarchy. It wouldn't do much to diminish Tate's appeal because he has a completely different audience composed of losers who want to be told that they're good without actually being good. Narcissist stuff. That's some body stuff. That's just funny. This feels racist to say, but blacks killed 458 whites and whites killed 84 blacks. The United States is 13.7% black and 58.4% white. Blacks are 23 times more likely to kill a white person than whites are to kill a black person. I don't get the sleeping with 1,000 men in a day or whatever thing. Just do findom and get paid. It's that easy. No, it's not. For one, no, it's not. For two, like I said, promiscuity is a preference. I don't think she's doing it for the money. I think she... So, I don't know, because then that's just me projecting me into her now, because I'm trying to be all sides. That I would be doing it because I can. Like, I can't believe I can do this. I can't believe this is possible. I can't believe I'm getting away with this. I can't believe people are letting me do this. I can't believe people think that I am worthy of this. I can't believe people want to do this. I can't believe men are so desperate to do this. Back to the depraved men thing, that what she's trying to do is debasing men. So like being in the bus, when I was first in the bus, after the first few months, I started going back to using dating apps. And there was a point like that. I've had many men, I don't know how many now, drive into the wilderness to a drop pin on a Google map in the pitch dark to a place they've never been before to meet up with me in the hopes that I'm not a murderer or a man. It's the same kind of thing. Like, yeah, I can make them do that. They'll do anything to fuck me. Desperate little bitches. I love it. I think that's what she's kind of doing. Like, I can't believe, of course they'll fuck me. They're desperate little bitches. Of course I can get 1,000 guys to line up and fuck me. Because she can. Because it is true. We are sexually driven animals. Woo, crazy, crazy. This is a funny one about Andrew Tate. Look, let's leave all the raping, beating, and pimping aside. Can we just agree that the right doesn't need help from idiots? In my Andrew Tate voice, reading books is for losers who are afraid to learn from life. That's nothing like him. That's way better than his voice. I cannot do a fake Arab. He's so Arab, it's gross. That, like, wog. That Lebo. Australian, Lebanese. It's that type of thing. It's horrible. I hate it. That Patrick Bet-David shit. Fuck that noise. That is some toxic shit. Those are some toxic people. Anyway. Reading books is for losers who's afraid to learn from life. So they try and learn from life. Learn from the life others have lived. But you never really learn unless you lived it. You must feel to believe it. Books are a total waste of time. Education is for cowards. That's funny. But actually, to be fair, I don't want to read the books. I want to experience it, because then when you know things, you know it, as opposed to have read it. You've experienced it and you feel it, and you are it. Like all the theories I've come up with from like experience, not from reading other people's stuff and like synthesizing their ideas. I don't actually personally respect people who like want to just reference books all the time. It's something that I've always actually particularly disrespected, like people who think they're intelligent because they can quote a book. Oh, that sounds like something they're from Derrida, or like, oh, did you know Umberto Eco? Oh my god, I'm still holding on to that from university like 20 years ago. But anytime, let's reference some Mises or Marx. Marx is too obvious. I can't think of a fucking Camus. I don't fucking care. What do you think? What do you know? If you've pre-programmed yourself with the fucking words, you don't fucking know anything. You're just an AI. You're just a large language model. What has your body experienced in the world, and what knowledge has that you synthesized from that? So that's funny that actually I agree with Andrew Tate. Oh, look at that. This is what all men should look like. I've fucked guys that look like that. Well, not obviously all of that, because half of that's totally fake. But I've definitely had some big, solid... I've like bucked like fucking Chippendales and like male strippers. Like, it's easy. Yeah, the debasing of men. I think it's like she's showing how pathetic most guys are. Yeah, now this is the interesting conversation. Okay. Prostitution used to be nearly exclusively the domain of poor, desperate young women. Now, thanks to OnlyFans, prostitution has become a possible career choice for financially stable, upper-middle-class women. Oh, it always has been, babe. It is extremely depressing and deeply terrifying to consider how many women in the latter camp have jumped at the chance to be hookers, yeah? Turns out there's a lot of women who like sex who, when given the safe space to do it in, would voluntarily choose to get paid to have sex rather... or as well as having a relationship. Son of a bitch. This is going on before OnlyFans. At least a few years ago, at least 25% of the hot chicks on most college campuses were doing arrangements. I've never met people in the wild that have fucked triple-digit people. I've never met a random prostitute. I've met random strippers. I've never known a peer to go into any kind of paid sex arrangement. But then maybe that is because I'm from an upper middle class background and I started doing adult work a long time ago, and all my friends are film producers, artists, musicians, fucking creative types, and the creative field that I went into was sex. Now, this is where it gets interesting. OnlyFans is interesting because it's now impossible to argue that sex workers are atypical, broken, poor people forced to do that by men. 2% of young American women are on OnlyFans. Many people consciously chose to be hookers or porn producers, just like many young men choose to gangbang. A lot of sapient humans are fine giving 5-minute blowjobs for $200. Yep. So he did a survey about giving a blowjob or cleaning the toilet. The men chose the blowjob, the women chose cleaning the toilets. I obviously chose the blowjob. Now this is the type of woman that can't understand that women like sex. You're oversimplifying the arguments here. Yeah, some women choose. They're fucked too, even if they're making good money and a choice, and they're getting more fucked up in the sex trade. It's not a good thing to do to yourself or to put into the world. It's incredibly short-sighted and most often later it results in later regret. All that said, I'm mostly judging the men who pay for the sex as they're pathetic, selfish, amoral, gross people with zero self-control. Men who pay for sex and use porn have no idea what they're paying for and what's happening on the other side of the screen, but also they're knowingly paying someone to have sex with them, knowing the woman is disgusted by them. What person's okay with that? So many assumptions that come from a person who doesn't like sex, doesn't like people, doesn't like the opposite sex, don't understand men's sex drive or their needs, and just doesn't respect people and choice and free and agency. Have women got agency? So they have a backwards and forwards, because these are both very intelligent people who publicly speak on things, but I don't think either of them are worthy of that position compared to what I know and what I think. They're both very basic and low level. They're successful at being domesticated humans. I do not respect that. I don't like how they've been domesticated. But for what they are a good example of both takes. You're a buddy of mine, at least online, and probably overall I respect your take, but this just seems like bog standard feminist rhetoric that doesn't fit modern reality at all. Thank you, Will. It's not that some women choose. Virtually every woman in the game, outside of low-level street prostitution, voluntarily does. The trafficking rate for sex work in the OnlyFans era is like 1% per everyone from Ayala to Yale U. They're disgusted by the very idea of their clients. Doesn't really seem true either. And it's not. Jobs in any bakery pay $19 per hour now, and OnlyFans and escort girls prefer socializing with those gents to that. What's happening on the other side of the screen for a typical OnlyFans girls, like the 30 to 50 very human people who quietly debate me and you on this page, is some nurse enthusiastically screwing her boyfriend or asking if you want to come over and pay for her ballet lessons occasionally. I don't pay for sex at all, taboo in my group, but responding to this female-led return of courtesans era by saying, I still blame the men, the evil, amoral men, these women can't voluntarily be choosing this, seems like mad cope, to be honest. In reality, more than a few people, per common sense, all data, and the Pollen tweet too, would rather have sex and party than work hard and conventionally. It's not a cope, it's genuinely how I feel. Men who pay for sex are doing something unethical. Women who sell sex are mostly traumatized, insecure, fucked up people, making their issues worse. The privileged women on OnlyFans are making poor choices, which I also judge them for. I don't even need to say anything here. You did an interesting thing with your words here. Today, 90% plus of the women who sell sex, ask anyone in nightlife, are OnlyFans girls and escorts. 2% of women are voluntary in-call girls or strippers on OnlyFans alone. Seeking, etc. aside. I linked this data in tweet 3. Feminists pretend low-end street prostitution is typical of sex work, but this has not been true for 50 years. Most sex workers are happy enough, voluntary people with jobs. You can like or hate that, but it's real. Last post, the idea that if it weren't for trauma, there wouldn't be women down to make $250 for giving one blowjob, or if it weren't for porn, no men would want, say, anal sex or kinky partners other than their girl, is on par with the idea that racism is what causes crime. There may be some 10% effects at the margins, but humans are an entertaining predator species. Plenty of people just do fun, dirty things. A nurse and technical masochist has sex 3 times weekly for $1,500 because they individually want to. We can regulate that, but it's bizarre to deny it, to say that no people just preferentially are hoes or thieves or killers. Of course your take on that on the last one in that sentence, might depend on how sincerely you believe your religion. Do only women need to be broken to be bad? Last word to you and all that. That's full bullshit. The vast majority of women and girls are being sold in the sex trade, are trafficked. Also, it's difficult to tell in these kind of conversations. I'm not being rude and I respect your opinion even when it's wrong. Megan, this is simply not true. It's a flat-out assertion of a religious claim. Again, there are 2 to 3 million American women on OnlyFans alone making full-on porn or doing in-calls. This figure does not include blue-checked and thus paid swinger wives on Pornhub, sorority girls on Seeking, or whatever it's now called, Vegas-style escorts, etc. It's simply bizarre to say that any significant percentage of these people are being trafficked. The usual SOCSI social science estimate is 1 to 2% across all sex work. High estimates almost all come from low-end street prostitution, which feminists focus on for this reason, and which is already illegal. Glad to share the data, etc. Oh, I wasn't talking about just America. Globally, yes, most in the sex trade are trafficked girls and women, including the legal brothels. Even the global figure is only 4 to 10%. Very high figures for legal brothels generally come from using travelled to have sex as a definition of trafficking, and very, very high figures overall virtually all come from a feminist or evangelical focus on abusive street prostitution. The topic was a female friend's legal thesis, and the numbers today are pretty much the same. Per pretty much any conventional modern ethical system, you obviously should not have sex with teenage Thai prostitutes, but it's objectively not true that 90 or 50 or 4% of sex workers in the modern Western world are trafficked. No reply. It's worth emphasizing that you can just check this. You can like or dislike Ayala, but she wrote a 5 to 6 page essay where she compares every major current estimate of trafficking to the sex worker population and comes up with an intentionally high estimate of 3% for in-person, full-service prostitutes. 97% of sex workers and almost all of OnlyFans girls just voluntarily choose blowjobs over cleaning toilets. Women advocates are understandably not thrilled by this reality, any more than I would be by a poll saying that, say, 40% of men are cowards. But the data just sort of what they are. Right now, 20% of the feminist and conservative women on this page are saying they would consider sex work under the right circumstances. So I just really liked that exchange. Yeah. I liked what they were saying. I haven't bothered to look at anyone else's on that thingy. So, yeah. Promiscuous sex workers we're not made by abuse. We are different, but that doesn't mean we're broken. Personally, in fact, I think you're broken. I think people who don't have a pure connection to their sex, their sexual nature, and to other people's bodies, a non-narrative based connection, animal respect, of the human form, then maybe there's something wrong with, maybe you've been a bit too domesticated. Maybe your self-disgust is causing you problems in your life. That's what all my work is about. Maybe you hating sex is because you've been conditioned to hate the thing that makes you who you are. Maybe you're the broken ones. Maybe the enlightened ones are the ones that aren't hung up on sex. Maybe the ones who enjoy sex for what it is, not for the stories attached to it. The physical act. The physical intimacy and connection to a human animal being without your bullshit, the ego and the made up shit that you think is you. You hold on to that so tightly that sex disgusts you. Not sex with even, just this thought of another person's body is disgusting to you. That's really sad. And I feel like you're broken and traumatized. I just like this tweet. 100% thought these were the same person. Does England just have an arms race of pretty blonde girls absolutely degrading themselves? What's going on over there? No, like we're a type. We just are. Some women who are attractive like sex. They like strange. Like, I would like to have 1,000 different dicks to see what they're all like. Just, wow. Ooh, oh, wow. I like that one. Oh, I don't like that one. Oh, I really like that one. Oh, that one's horrible. Get it away from me. Oh, that's surprising. Interesting. I don't know. That's my experience. It might be their experience. I hope it is their experience. I do. We got any more of them? Oh no, I thought there was. Oh wow, I'm really far up. Okay. Okay, we were doing this. Yay, we got to there, we did that. Yeah. The reason that online right is so focused on digital prostitution and not solicitation and the use of photography is that the right has gone soft and only wants to deal with the side they can control through shaming women. They just love shaming women. Oh, I like this reply to the Will and Meghan conversation. What's interesting is that anyone willing to listen to sex workers has known this for decades. But no, believing that sex workers know their own experience and understand their choices is still just outside the grasp of maybe not all men, but definitely most men, and definitely you. Body count discourse. Body count mattered when I was a teenager. Maybe that's the generation it started, you know. But that was a long time ago. I don't know how old this person is. But it has been around. Oh, lots of silence today. No, it's funny, when I went through it before I got on, I was like looking forward to speaking about all of it, but now I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really need to do that one, or that one, or that one. Conservatives go after women because they're an easier target. They're scared of telling other men what to do, but shaming absolutely does work on men, just not when it comes to sex. Correct. RFH. She's been away, but I am glad she is back. She speaks radical truth. That she's the right kind of radical. Oh, I'm thirsty. Where's my bottle? Where is it? Oh, it's right there. Oh, my lordy. People feel a lot more comfortable blaming the women making porn than they do blaming the men who participate, buy, and subscribe. Curious. So she would be an anti-exploitation. She is libertarian right. RFH, I would imagine, would be somewhere between the two, I think. She might end up in the adult entertainment because she's contrarian. Oh, this one's nice. Bro was born with a gift. I don't get how my boyfriend is so good at sex. I could say that it's because of all the porn he watches, but he literally would only watch pegging porn or fake porn. I don't get it. He's never missed the clit. He knows what angles to hit. He knows where to lick, how to be gentle, but also rough when fingering. He knows how to hold me and what feels good. It's just so odd. How can he be so good at it when he has zero experience? Because sex isn't an act unto itself. It is between two people. And it sounds like her boyfriend really loves her and pays attention to her reactions during sex and is excited to pleasure her body. That's what being good at sex is. It's not that you're experienced or know techniques or have to know anything about how to have good sex. It's that the body in front of you is fascinating, exciting. It's something to be explored and learnt and understood and expanded upon. And he's just maybe, by not having been pre-programmed, has that innocent, naive, innocent, playful attitude towards sex that I've talked about before. That is what good sex is. It is the understanding that what you're doing is a practice. It is a practice that you develop with a person or people or the self. Like yoga is a practice, because you don't do it because you're always developing it, but whilst you're doing it, the physical process is practicing an intention, not an action. This is what about this is the perfect. I'll just read this one because this is what I was saying at the beginning about the male and female energies being bad, and what we're in let me just read this. Luciferian energy is not the energy of a person, it's the energy that has appeared in many different forms. Many masculines hold it. It's simply the energy of trying to use wisdom for their own ends and to make it useful for them as ego. Andrew Tate is a manifestation of Luciferian energy that continues to dominate the world. Regard him as a symbol of an energy that many others also hold, and how humanity has lost its way from wisdom and Sophia. Sophia is a female. Space. The health of humanity depends on our ability to understand the fundamental imbalance between masculine and feminine energies, and how without that sacred marriage, symphony, harmony and love all falls into ignorance and ruin and degeneracy, such as we are witnessing in the fall of the Nephilim or the stars. So like Trump, Tate, Musk, all the this ascendant energy, if it misses the sacred feminine, it's going to end up in the same downward direction as the left death cult anti-human ideas will. And it's really important for the body part of all of this to be incorporated into what's happening. That's it's kind of disconcerting how quiet the whole Maha, the health side of the movement's gone, and now it's just into power and money and control, which obviously that stuff always does end up like that. But it's sort of if you don't balance the masculine and the feminine is so the majority of people don't even know what the feminine is because it's been so thoroughly squashed by the patriarchy that it's going to take a long time for women to have the safety to expand into, to begin to realise that there's a femininity that we don't even know about that is needed to balance the masculine. And the way women are doing it at the moment isn't working. Flight attendant launches a GoFundMe and raises $261 after she was fired for posting a video of her twerking on a plane. The skies just got a little bit cleaner. I mean, it's not like the most sexual, but like it's the fact that twerking and dancing like you're a stripper is become a mainstream thing. Why? Why has whoring about, most women have turned to exuding whore behaviour with no shame in the name of women's empowerment. This is an indication of a failing society, yet most people are too afraid to be honest about this. I kind of I agree in it fits into the hypersexual culture of the sex workers' work, left-wing authoritarian quadrant, where she shouldn't be fired for twerking on an aeroplane. An autogynephilic male shouldn't be fired from teaching children. You know, it doesn't matter how perverted you are, you should be allowed to publicly perform it. And that is the wrong feminine energy. That is the feminine embodying the masculine. It's like you take on the male, like I was saying, you take on the male gaze and desire and like turn it, oh, so now I'm empowered because I'm being a whore. Yeah, you can't call me a whore. Like, it's a process that we're going through. The men complaining about it, the women doing it, the women supporting it, the men supporting it, the women complaining about it. It's all a spiral going up. Everything is the chain. Like, you have to have people going too far to know that it's not okay. That then do that. No. So but you go in the direction. I don't know, like the direction is just time. It's evolution. It's evolution. Because it just is. It just is. That's what's happening. Everything is evolving. Everything is becoming more complex. Oh, this is where assembly theory comes in. So assembly theory is a way to, when you go to a new planet, how will you know if there is life if you cannot recognize the substances or or what is life on that new planet? And Lee Cronin came up with this assembly theory where it's a calculation of is it an object? Are there multiple of it? How many steps how many chemical steps did it take for it to become what it is? And that determines stuff. I'm not doing a good example of it, but I know, it's one of these things that inside me I know. I understand without being able to put it into words. But the future universe can't fit into the current universe. So everything's just expanding. More and more stuff, more everything. The universe is getting bigger. That's what the direction is. And everything is the dialectic that has to be integrated. And I guess that would be just... The dialectic being integrated would be allowing it as opposed to fighting it. But then would it is the fighting it part of what's needed to... Oh, it's very pointlessly philosophical. Is philosophical the right word? Esoteric. It's just a pointless, but it isn't pointless because it's life before words. I know it's knowing more inside than words can describe. God made the human the perfect animal, and before language. We didn't have language. So we can understand the world without language. And we're creating the future we're moving into. And I think people like me, pioneer type people that see what's, the women who are like doing public sexuality to be empowering are like down here. I did that 10 years ago, right? 20 years ago, 20 to 10 years ago, I was doing that. Now I'm doing what I'm doing now, this like fucking body enlightenment, like true, it's true empowerment is to be in your feminine, not to be in the masculine. So I know that the path has already been created. They're just coming along after us. So I know it's going to be okay. And I can hear this. I can hear the people doing it extreme on all sides because I know I'm not experiencing the dialectic. I'm going in the direction that the dialectic is following. It's just inside me. That's inside me. So now we've got to here's more like public degeneracy, like of women. That like women do this, right? And be like men, they want men to hypersexualize them, but then women who don't want to be hypersexualized are being hypersexualized. It's giving away other women's discomfort with public, being a sexual woman, being treated sexually in non-sexual spaces, which is what she's in. She's in the gym. And women like me don't want to be sexualized in non-sexual spaces. I don't know what women like me are. I'd imagine lots of women don't want to be sexualized in non-sexual places. You want to go to the gym. You want to go to the grocery store. You want to go to the mechanic without people fucking hitting on you. If you want to go to the bar, hit on me. If I'm on a dating site, hit on me. It's got to be in the appropriate place. So people that like sexualize themselves in non-appropriate places or in non-appropriate jobs are massively problematic for everyone because they set up a standard for what's okay and what's not okay. That's how when I do shows in the bar, some guys are like, oh, what if someone came along and caught you and they try to fuck you? I'd be like, I'd call the police. No, actually, I'd just grab my gun. Because that would be rape. And that's not really very fun. That generally kills their boner and they don't spend money on me. But I refuse to perpetuate the problematic idea that if a strange man approached me in public, I'd be down to fuck. Or that, like, or just getting caught. Oh, you've seen my ass, you random ugly man, so I'm going to let you fuck me. if someone came into my campsite, I get my gun out and I go stand at the door with a gun in my hand. It's only happened twice. It's very unusual for someone to happen upon me. They haven't happened upon me. They're insane and creepy, and I am prepared. And I'm not going to pretend like that's not. Don't like people. I'm not going to pretend that when I'm at the gym I'm getting turned on and I want a man leering over me, because I don't. I'm just doing my fucking workout. Not that I go to the gym, when I used to. When I'm at the grocery store, I don't want to have to like figure out how to reject a man so as to not like make him act in a really negative way towards me. I just want to do my grocery shopping. So women that are like, oh, more men need to hit on us in public, and more, like, oh, fuck off. Fuck off, you ugly hoes. Oh, maybe that's the rule. You can approach women in public if they're like a 6 and below, because they want it. 6s and aboves, just fucking find us in the spaces that we want to be in. You will know when we want it. Like when I'm wearing like dirty, ripped clothes and I'm with my mother in Home Depot, I don't want it. But you will still do it. So I think you need to realise that even if a 7 is wearing 5 clothes, you don't approach her when she's with her mother. Leave women who are attractive alone. We know we're attractive. We hear it forever. So go to the ugly girl that is desperately trying to get attention. They'll be really grateful for you hitting on them in public, and it'll surely be much more successful. And then you won't have to go on the internet and be a cunt to people. So, now this one I love. I love this one. Look at this. Disgusting, flashing freak. My next subject, the problem of porn, fetishes, and kinks in the real world. Guy allegedly took his own life today after a video of him doing a drive-through without pants was posted. Now what you see here is when he drives up and sees a woman alone, he's very excited. Oh yeah, look, I'm doing a flirty face. Hey, what I've got going on there? Oh, what? You've got a camera? Oh, fuck, I'm going. Because he thought he was the one with the power. He thought he was going to make a random woman uncomfortable. And when he realised he was being filmed, he suddenly felt incredibly uncomfortable. Because often, sexual predators like that, the reaction they get is shock and nothing else. They don't get any repercussion, and they get off on causing that reaction in women. I've been flashed. Everyone I know has been flashed. It's fucking disgusting. And any sex workers, any adult entertainers, any porn-making women who perpetuate the idea that public nudity from men is good, even in fantasy. I don't believe in fantasy. There's no such thing as fantasy. It's what you want to do, right? So no, I'm not going to let you sexualize the idea of getting caught naked in public. Because when you do it, you're a sex offender. You're doing a crime. It's not fun. And now this guy, who might have even been encouraged by a sex worker, he might have talked about it. I get guys come to me all the time. I'm just in my car jacking off. I'm like, there better not be anyone who can fucking see you. But there are women that will go along with it to make money off them. Oh, it's harmless. It's just, fantasy. It's just an idea. It's just role play. And then a man goes to a drive-through with his dick out, gets videoed, posted on the internet, and then he fucking kills himself because he's that much of a sexual predator loser. He knows that he should kill himself, which is fantastic. Good on you, mate. More of you need to do that. More of the sexual predators need to be offing themselves. Someone needs to start offing them. Because fuck me, they're getting audacious. Another example of the problems of kinks. His mum is on Facebook saying the girl should pay for his death. Ma'am, your son is a fucking pervert, and a lot of them are in this world terrorising women because their bitch-ass mama enables them. I hope that girl doesn't feel any guilt, because more of these motherfuckers need to go. Yes, Miss Pink Star. Thank you. Oh, this was a good reply to the twerking on a plane video. Could be a reaction to it could be a reaction to generations of being mere sexual objects. Millennials decided to own it and capitalize off of it without being touched. Hopefully it overwhelms to the point where men learn to control themselves the way we always knew to. Your turns. Alabaster Angel. She's the queen with that. That is perfect. BDSM practitioners need to stop acting like they're oppressed simply for being into BDSM. Yeah, you shouldn't be into BDSM. You should be oppressed. You're disgusting if you like violence in sex. That isn't choice. That's dysfunction. Just like women who go into sex work because they're traumatized is wrong. If they choose to go into chose to go into sex work and they have been traumatized, that's something else. But because they have is something else. And here we are, grown-ass man exposing himself in public, but the woman was wrong for recording and posting someone who clearly had no fear of public exposure. Yes. BDSM is truly the gift that keeps on giving. You had Marilyn Manson, Armie Hammer, and now Neil Gaiman, all running the same script. She consented to being beaten up, materially enslaved, and tortured beyond consciousness, and you cannot prove otherwise, so it's all okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because this guy's been accused. Look at him. How, like... I've never had sex for power, because I would never fuck someone that looked like that. Oh, hang on. I fucked Ron Jeremy. But that wasn't for power. It was because of who he was. Okay, who he was. But he's not anyone good. Who's someone... No, I guess it's just Ron Jeremy. I haven't fucked anyone who's good at stuff but ugly. I fuck people who are good at stuff and attractive. I've not used... Like, because when I worked in the music industry, the people I worked for used sex to get what they wanted. They were slightly older generation. They're Gen X women, and they used sex to get what they wanted. Me, elder millennial, with them as my role models, I knew that if you used sex in any way in your career, you were going to be known for that forever, and there's never going to be any credibility given to you. So I never did that. I used to fuck strange outside of what, not out, normal people from the scene, as opposed to the people running the scene that I was working with. So I never, like, fucked to get something like that. Because I wouldn't let the level of man, like, he just wouldn't, like, I'm thinking of someone specific, someone who, the guy who owned one of the bars that we used to put the club on at. And that was his thing, you know, he'd always, like, hook up with the new, you know, each new fucking bar staff and stuff. And he was just this... Actually, kind of was a bit like Alex Jones. And like, I like hanging out with that type of man. Like I was saying about last week, like with Tommy Robinson, that like wide boy type thing, the like old boy. But I'm not gonna fucking have sex with him. I don't need to. I don't need to. I did fine without it. I got like pretty successful. But yeah, BDSM a lot of the women that I've known that are into BDSM go for guys that look like that, even though they're like 8s. There's a whole thing where like the women are attractive and the men are really ugly, but it's okay because it's BDSM. It's like their self-hatred is so deep that they need to be disgusted by their partner, but then their partner has to beat them to like stop them feeling disgusted at themselves. It's so weird and like something I want nothing to do with. And like I said, but like the other week, I've gone to sex parties and I don't get involved because everyone's just ugly and fat. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to enjoy the atmosphere. I'm going to enjoy the ugly ladies giving each other fucking... The ladies aren't as ugly, but I don't like eating pussy because it tastes disgusting. Mine doesn't. Yours does. I've had one nice pussy. I've had about 8 or 10 of them, probably 10, probably more, I don't know. I've fucked more women than most women have fucked men. Because the average of how many men women have fucked is still fucking like 6 or 8 or something, 14 at maximum in like Australia. Like, what are you all crying about? It's really tiresome on the right. Like, they fucking won, right? They won. They won the culture. They won the politics. And it's still negative. Like, why are they going into an industry that has nothing to do with them, that no one, that they don't, like, lid for every pot? It's 2 completely different areas of life that, like, right-wing politics, sex industry, ne'er the 2 dare meet, but for some reason, it's all connected to everything that I do. I know why they can't accept. They can't build. They can't respond. They can only react. They have to stay in that like reactionary something's wrong pose. Like, gotta get the thing. Like, can we just... It's fine. We're going to be fine. Can we be positive? Instead of complaining about what, like, women who like sex are doing. Like, make something interesting. Just, like, if you don't want people obsessing about OnlyFans, stop making news about OnlyFans. Stop making videos about it. Stop posting about it. Stop fucking talking about it. Is it really that hard? And you get, like, you see those people commenting, like, it is pretty easy to just not see porn, to, like, not be on OnlyFans, to not encounter those people. I don't. I am seeing it a lot on Instagram, and it's... Well, that's because it's the manifestation of the sex workers' work, hypersexual culture. Anyone can do it. That's the job, It's not good. People who aren't okay with themselves look outside of themselves. People having sex shouldn't stop you from not having sex if you don't want it. People having sex shouldn't stop you from having a monogamous relationship with someone who wants it. Learn to control your animal body and mind. Exist in silence. Know what it is like to be the animal without words. The perfectly made image of God had no words. So when you experience the world, when you live without words, when you make love without words, when you live outside without words, you understand being human and what we actually are, and how all our dysfunction comes from our language. And the more we move into like disembodied ways of being, whether that's like the Christian fundamentalist denial of body or the fucking trans anti-humanist denial of body, Elon's denial of body, his denial of body is so deep, he's so disconnected from his body. I would love to get my hands on that weird torso. But the thing is, you do that with someone like that, he's not going to function. You wouldn't want to deconstruct what it's got going for him because it's working for him, even though what's working for him is making the world different for everyone. That might not work for us. Yeah. That's the thing, though. I don't think you would actually. I guess it changes priorities, understanding pre-domestication, de-domestication, like rewilding, like the rewilded experience of being human ultimately can only enhance anything that you want to create. But I want to move people from the very root of their perspective into something else. The very core understanding of what human is has become so infected with words. Without words, there's not mind, body. We have come to think of it as two separate things happening because of language. If there was a word, wee-woo, that meant the experience of being you, you don't have a mind and a body. Your mind is your body has your mind in it. Like, you can only experience both. There is never one or the other. There is you can't just have body, you can't just have mind. They can only ever exist together. Unless you're dead. But then you're dead. Your body isn't a body anymore. It is meat. You know, it becomes inanimate. Not because the mind is no longer active, it's because the body is no longer active. The body stops working. The body stops working. The mind disappears. Because the mind is the body working. There is no body, there is no mind, there is only us, there is only I, there is only you, there is only me, there is only we. Science is the measurement of what the human body cannot perceive. However, how do we know that what we are perceiving is real if we made the instruments and contrived the theories from words that do not represent reality? We might be looking at an entirely made-up thing because the thing we made is what we're looking at. I also think science is the translating of reality into linguistic human constructs. You don't need science when you live in nature because you know what reality is. You don't, like, Yeah, there's so much that you just know that, like, science misinterprets. Oh god, I'm getting tired. I've got a weird blank personage today. I don't have a... I'm not angry, I'm not happy, I'm not sad, I'm not euphoric, I'm not, like, mad about stuff, I'm not amused. I mean, I guess I'm amused by everything. Hey, kitty. You tired? I'm tired. We've had a stressful 3 weeks, I think it's been, since the bus first started breaking down. Why don't we get this ugly man's face looking at us? Go away, you disgusting freak. They're kind of pretty. They should, if they wore less makeup, I would probably fuck them. Yeah, just like, I get it, right? I saw a thing like, why does people even want to twerk? Why would anyone want to twerk? Because it's fun. I don't really do it anymore because I'm old. But I was like upside down twerk. I had a hat that said twerk team, and me and my friend would wear our hats out in public to nightclubs and twerk upside down in nightclubs. Because it was fucking hilarious. Not because we thought we were amazing or hot or super fucking cool, but because it was fucking funny. It was a thing to do. It was a performance. It was a self-aware silliness. It was like liberating, not in the sense of like I'm empowered. It was like the freedom to move your body without restriction, which is, it's not a sexual empowerment, it's a human empowerment. It is, I am an adult and I'm in an adult space and I am allowed to play and you don't need to judge me. And there was like a brief period about 12 years ago where that was the case. And it was fucking, that was the end of history. That would be 2012. When did I fucking twerk on a plane? I twerked on a plane. When did that happen? When did I do that? That was Thanksgiving. So that would have been... Yeah, babe. Thanksgiving 2013, Thanksgiving 2012, one of the two. Yeah, I just really want the end of history to be 2012. I don't know. It's the end of culture or something. It's the end of something. The fucking Aztecs said so. Oh, hello, little kitty. She's so lovely. Did I miss anything good? That's terrifying. God's design for sex is clear. One man, one woman, united in covenant marriage. See, none of this can exist without words. Sex within marriage is joyful and life-giving. It's foundational for a thriving family and society. Honouring the marriage bed is essential for both individual joy and societal flourishing. Yeah. But that's not our natural state. That's just like an agreed upon, like the marriage and like fucking sex with one person is like an agreed upon structure to have the society that we have. It's not like foundational to reality or anything. It's entirely made up. Like, put a load of humans in a room without language, without programming, and see what they do with each other. Why haven't we done that? Why don't we experiment more on humans? I guess the answer's obvious. But we've done some pretty terrible things, and they're generally in the name of like profit or progress of a technological future as opposed to understanding the human reality. They're like, you know, they want to like test crazy stuff at like, will a person kill someone if they're told to, as opposed to like, what environment should the natural, like, what environment is the most like conducive for like human flourishing. It's never like for the positive, it's always for like something bad we can find, and then it's like a problem we can fix. Kind of like how the right can't be like, woo, we won, let's do some fun stuff, let's celebrate, let's like make some fun things, let's be funny, let's make some positivity, music, movement, anything, ideas for growth, ideas for big unifying projects, anything apart from like complaining about women who want to just fucking fuck for money. But we need them. We need them. Because otherwise, if they don't complain, then the middle won't react when the other side overreacts. And, you know, it'll just, like I said, it's the spiral of Kitty, don't lick the fucking pan. It's the spiral of evolution. It's balance. We missed some things, but not much, I guess. It's sort of a reaction, I don't know. Oh no! This is reality, I don't care. I'm really enjoying saying what I want out into the air. Make it rhyme. It's cold because I got the window open so this cat doesn't get smoked. So I'm going to pack my stuff away. Shall we have another look at any... Oh, you go away. No, not you. You. And this one, oh look, oh it's so good. It's so good. I'm so proud of myself. And this one, look, it's so good. Look at my logo. Grok did that. That's pretty fun. I'm impressed with that one. I like it. I like it. Ooh. Alright. I'm going to bed. See you next week. This has been Sex on X, and in the news this week, Sky's News.